I am really digging this new intro music, Chrissy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It was time to change it up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The old intro, I would say, has been up on this podcast for about 5 years.
Which is crazy long.
And I was actually never really a fan of it when it first started getting added to the podcast. It was kind of one of those things that I needed an intro, so I threw it on there.
It was like a short-term solution that lasted 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I was putting this podcast together, I'm like, let's change this up.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into the podcast. Let's cut out the intro wording. I don't know. I think I might still have somebody else announce the podcast. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'd be curious to know what everybody's thoughts are.
Yeah, and who knows what the future might bring, you know?
Hey, let's welcome everybody out today to episode 346 of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. My name's Chris.
And my name's Chrissy.
Hey, today we're recording out of Mountain West Hard Cider. You know, these guys are great for letting us use their facilities to record some of these podcast interviews and episodes. You all need to stop by here and visit them and support them for being so rad. I'm serious. We need more businesses like this here in Salt Lake City. They are located at 425 North, 400 West. Stop by, get some hard cider on your way home from work.
And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, you might be wondering what you're doing here. You're here to visit me and Chris while we go through the city and explore the people who are making the cool things that are building Salt Lake. We get to talk to small business owners, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, bartenders, really anyone that might have a cool story to share.
Like today on the podcast, we get the opportunity to sit down and have an awesome conversation with Jordan Hemsley. Jordan is doing some amazing things in the entrepreneur and coaching space here locally, including the Breakout Women's Summit happening in January at the Salt Palace. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to find out about this summit. Let's talk on the podcast. We're going to be talking all about that here in a couple of minutes.
But before we jump into that interview, let's give some love to our sponsors for this episode. Five Wives Vodka and the downtown Salt Lake City Melting Pot. We're going to be telling you a little bit more about them later on in the podcast.
All right, guys, I know you are probably sick of me talking about the downtown farmers market, but I got to. I mean, it's going on until October 20th, so I'm going to be talking about it up until then. So sit back, relax while I tell you a little bit about the downtown farmers market. It is happening every Saturday at the historic Pioneer Park right in downtown Salt Lake City between the blocks of 300 and 400 South. You know where it's at. And if you've never gone, okay, write this down. Every Saturday from 8 to 2, Pioneer Park, you need to start at the produce because they have some of the best produce in the state. It's fresh. It's ready to go. I mean, you could take it home and make dinner with it that night and then just walk around the park, check out the local, the local artists that are selling their art, the people that are making, bar soap and selling t-shirts. It's a fun place, family friendly, beautiful place to take your kids. I would head on over there early though. It gets a little hot in the afternoon, but it's going on up every Saturday until October 20th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And go check it out.
And I love going there because every time I go to visit the food trucks, I meet new friends from out of state.
Really?
It's such a cool place to meet new people.
At the food trucks?
Yeah. It's fantastic. You just got to start talking to people, though. All right, let's get into that conversation we had with Jordan Hemsley when she came and shared her story with us. Enjoy.
What did your childhood smell like?
What did my childhood smell like?
It's been so interesting. So many different smells of what we remember in our childhood.
I would say cinnamon.
Ooh, cinnamon.
Like Christmassy cinnamon.
So like a lot of cookies being baked.
Oh, yeah.
And now where did you grow up? Did you grow up?
I grew up
here?
in Kaysville.
Kaysville. So kind of close.
Yep.
Did you ever leave Utah?
Yeah, my dad's from Canada actually.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And so we went up to Alberta a lot growing up.
Did you ever move anywhere else?
No, not really. We lived in Provo when I was first born, and then we moved to Kaysville when I was about 3. So yeah, we've been there ever since.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? We all kind of had different things. Like I wanted to be like a policeman and whatnot.
I really wanted to be a dancer.
What
wanted
kind?
To dance with Ballet West and in New York.
Oh, did you actually do ballet?
I did. I danced until high school, and then when I think I was a senior when I stopped dancing, and I danced a little bit in college, and then just stopped.
kind of stop doing it.
Do you dance anymore?
I don't, like, professionally, no. Definitely not.
That's something you have to keep up. Like, trying to keep up on dancing is very intense.
Well, yeah, and after I had kids, I don't think my body could do half the things that I used to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is just part of getting older.
It's so true.
All of a sudden, I'm 40 years old and I'm like, I just can't do as much as I used to when I was like 25.
Every day I'm like, I just hurt. And Chris is like, why? And I'm like, because I'm old. I'm just old and everything hurts all the time.
I'm just, and I want to get out on the rollerblades or the skateboard and I'm just like, I can't. If I fall, I'm going to break my neck.
I think I'm young sometimes. Well, I mean, I'm not even 30 yet, but
you're so young. You're a
but
baby.
I feel really old.
You still have plenty of time. You're still young. You're still, guys, I would do anything to go back and be 30 years old again. So what got you, I want to kind of jump into, you're doing a breakout summit in January, which I want to get into in a minute, but what led you up to wanting to do like a big summit conference like this? I mean, you kind of dabble in coaching, you said, or dabble, I don't know if that's fair to say. What kind of coaching is it that you like, life coach?
Life coaching, business startup, consulting really is what it is consulting, not really coaching. Yeah, I just kind of help people start from the ground up and get their bearings, I guess.
Yeah. What kind of brought you into that?
So I started, I ran into a friend back like last September, about a year ago, and he was doing affiliate marketing and he was just killing it. I mean, making so much money. And
you're like, I want some of that money.
Well, yeah. And he had so much freedom. Like he was traveling. He didn't have to go to a job every day. And I was a stay-at-home mom and I still am, but I really wanted that same type of freedom where we could just travel and do what we want when we wanted. And so I jumped on an affiliate team with him doing affiliate marketing in a bunch of different areas. And the company that we jumped on with totally just, I don't know what they were doing, but they closed without telling anybody. And so we had invested all this money into this company and then they closed. So,
now, is your friend here in Utah?
He is, yeah. He's in somewhere around there. He's in Utah County somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
I was just curious if he was here local.
He is, yeah. But yeah, so when that company went down, I had planned a few small vendor events leading up to it, and I really enjoyed doing that. And I really liked the aspect with affiliate marketing. When we'd bring people in, we would kind of coach them like personally and help them develop this really positive lifestyle. And
so wait, you were coaching people to become affiliate marketers?
Yes.
Kind of like, are you familiar with Pat Flynn, right?
No.
Oh gosh, you got it. He's
pretty good.
He does he does a podcast, Smart Passive Income.
Smart Passive Income, yeah.
But he's like a huge affiliate. I mean, that's what he teaches is affiliate marketing, and he's
killing it.
Yeah, yeah, big affiliate marketer. He's not from Utah. He's from some other state. I don't know.
But he's awesome.
I'll have to look him up. I really do like affiliate marketing.
Yeah. Well, listen to his podcast. It's a great podcast. It talks a lot about affiliate marketing, but so you would teach people how to do affiliate marketing.
Right.
And maybe I don't know enough about affiliate marketing. I thought affiliate marketing was as simple as just getting a code or something like that. And then people, they buy something and then they get a little bit of a kickback, right? Is that, I mean, is there more to it?
There's a lot more to it. So basically you have your own business, but you're selling someone else's product. Mm-hmm. So you run it just like you would a normal business, run it just like you would your own product, but you sell someone else's product. So you don't have all of that back end.
You don't have like a
storefront. You got to keep inventory.
Yeah, you don't have to keep any inventory. You don't have to create anything. Everything's all done for you. All the support is there for you so that they can just tap into that and you just sell their product.
Do you think that it's possibly getting oversaturated because of that?
I think it is a little bit. And that was, I think, part of the problem is I wasn't doing horrible, but I wasn't doing great. And it was way more work than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And
What do you mean oversaturated, Kristen?
Well, I know affiliate marketing. I mean, I think, this is what I think of when I think of affiliate marketing, but it's not my thing, is that someone just starts a blog and has some affiliate links on the blog. But with more basic affiliate stuff, I think if you specialize, if you're really good at specializing in an area and you have affiliate marketers in that area, for example, like we have an affiliate with Libsyn.
Yeah.
Because we're in the podcasting space. I think that is is what makes it worth it. But if you're just doing it generally and kind of taking whatever affiliate you can and not going in a certain direction, it can get a little bit oversaturated. Kind of like Audible, how that got a little bit oversaturated. Now everyone has an Audible account.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. And Amazon has an affiliate program.
And it seems like every blogger, every podcaster is on it. But it's good. I mean, it's a good way to make a few bucks.
Yeah. A few dollars. I mean, I don't know that you'd get rich off Amazon, but we actually taught people how to pick a niche and focus on just that niche and find products for that niche. So I worked with a couple bloggers who we would really narrow down their target audience and pick just 2 or 3 products off of ClickBank, actually, and help them market those and help them sell those as an affiliate product. So
now I know I'm going to put you on the spot here. I didn't warn you of this. I didn't even know you were really into affiliate marketing. But so this is great. Is there like a tip that you would tell listeners? Like one thing I know, obviously we don't want to give away a ton of your secrets here.
Right.
But is there one thing that maybe a listener can use and it would help them out? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. My biggest advice for affiliate marketing would be to not like jump from offer to offer to offer. Like pick one and stick with it for like a good solid 9 months and see where that takes you. I see so many affiliate marketers who jump around from different companies to different companies because they're not seeing results right away.
They don't give it a chance.
They're not letting it.
It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like a lot of other things where you make money quickly. It's very slow burning.
Very cool.
Everything's a grind, no matter how much you love it. Right? Like, that's just the way it is. So what with this this summit that you're putting together, what exactly is it?
So
can you explain it?
It's basically like a women's empowerment event.
Okay.
That was kind of a tongue twister.
So basically you need to be there.
My
Kristen.
jam.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. It's for women. And I mean, I guess men could come. It would probably be good for everybody, but
would it be weird though if a man showed up? Maybe
I think
it might be. We might talk about really intimate girl things.
I can hang with
you can totally,
but it would be fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry, I kind of interrupted.
No, you're good.
I guess continue on where the event's going to be at, what it's about, who's speaking. I guess we'll start.
Yeah. So again, it's a women's empowerment event. We want to help women kind of break out of the shells that they feel like they're in. Because I know that the reason I started it was because I felt like I was just a mom and I was just a wife and I wasn't really myself and I wasn't taking part in who I wanted to be as an individual. I was a mom and a wife and that was it. And so when I finally broke out of that and I finally got to the point where I wanted to be, I had lots of people coming to me and asking how I did it and what I did to get there and how I positioned myself to be able to love myself for myself as an individual. So fast forward a little bit, I really got into kind of coaching people a little bit and not getting paid for it, which was fine.
It happens, right? Everybody's like, oh, I just want to pick your brain for a few minutes and do this and this.
I was just giving advice to people and everyone was like, oh, you should put together just a group and we can get together and do it. So I did it with like a couple friends a handful of times. And then I planned some vendor events and I really loved it. So then it just kind of exploded into this huge women's event where we're going to empower women. We're going to teach you how to network and how to kind of reinvent yourself so that you can find that space where you really love yourself and you feel comfortable in your own skin. I know so many people feel like if they focus on themselves, then they'll be a lesser wife or a lesser mom or a lesser daughter or whatever it is they are.
Is that common though?
So many people. See,
especially in Utah, and I hate that I always get on a kind of a feminist tangent. But I mean, there was an article that came out, I want to say in the Deseret News or the Salt Lake Tribune just this last week that said Utah is ranked as the second most sexist state in the United States, just after Alabama. And it's true. I mean, I think we've all experienced that. It's really hard to break out of the shell because as a woman, you're judged pretty harshly if you want to be independent or have your own personality or have a specialty and you're not a wife and mother. And even if you are a wife and mother, if you do something else, people think you're taking away from that instead of just growing yourself and making yourself a better person.
that's really why I started doing it, is because it was such a big deal and I was seeing it so much in all of my friends and my family's lives. So yeah, we just want to help them break out of that shell that they feel like they're in and really step into their full potential. It really doesn't lessen being a mom or a wife. It actually makes you a better wife and a better mom when you can love yourself. Because when your cup is full, you can fill other people's cups.
Exactly.
And when your cup's not full, you're like halfway
curl up in a corner and cry. Yeah.
So when is the event?
It's January 19th.
What day of the week is that?
It's Saturday. It's just one
That's a good
day.
day.
No excuses now,
No
right?
excuses.
Right?
Yep. It's a Saturday. It's in the middle of the month. It's at the Salt Palace. So we will have like a general session just in the ballroom. And then when it's all over, we will have a pamper party, an exclusive pamper party where women can go and get massages, get pedicures.
We
get
should
their
go.
Hair done.
I'll put a wig on you, do some makeup.
Do
Let's
it.
go get a massage.
The beard won't give you away at all.
I'll shave it off. So, okay, I guess I've been so intrigued by this because, I mean, this is at the Salt Palace. I mean, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
It isn't like you just rented the back room at like a Marie Callender's.
I considered it.
Or like an IHOP or something, right? Like a conference room.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first conference you put on?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, well, no, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, you got to start
it's
somewhere.
Impressive, but how did you tackle such a huge thing for your first time?
It has been a big, big undertaking. I hired a coach. She's actually in New York, so we've never actually been in the same room together, but she just kind of talks me through everything and helps me just kind of focus and tackle the things that I need to do.
Do you ever, I can only imagine, because if I was in your situation, I would probably call her crying all the time.
Every day.
But I get overwhelmed and then I just cry and then I get it out and I feel fine. It's nice that you have that you have the support and someone to kind of guide you and help you along.
Yeah, she's been amazing. And she'll actually speak at the event. She's coming out and she'll be like our keynote speaker.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's amazing.
I want to actually interject here on that really quick. We'll go back to the conference. The coach in New York that you have, because I'm such a big fan of coaches, right? And so many people, it goes back to, you're saying you're doing it for free because people are hitting me up all the time. Oh, can you teach me how to podcast? Can you do this? Can you do that? What would you tell listeners? Like, how did you decide this person in New York? Or like, how do you know this would be a good coach for me to work with? This would be a good person for me to work with?
That's a really good question. I went back and forth a couple of times and I reached out to her probably 3 or 4 times before, asking her little questions, asking her for advice and tips. And she was more than willing to give me advice. And I wasn't paying her or anything.
And this was like on Facebook?
Yeah, just on Facebook. I don't know how we got connected on Facebook, probably mutual friends. And I just added her because,
it's one of life's great mysteries.
That's what you do on Facebook,
You
right?
do. So yeah, and then she messaged me and asked if we could jump on a phone call, which she was so brilliant. She sold me for sure. But we got
So
on
she asked you if you could hop on.
Yeah,
a
well,
phone
I'd been
call.
talking to her so much. She was like, let's just jump on a call and see what I can really do for you. And so we got on this call and she kind of talked me through her program and what she does. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm like, that's way too much.
Oh, money.
Money-wise.
Money-wise.
Yeah. So she charges a lot. And a week later, I saw a post of hers and
You were sold.
I was like, nope, I have to hire her. And it was worth every single dime I put into it. Every single dime. So
Do you think everybody can benefit from a coach?
I think everyone can benefit from a coach, whether it's a life coach, a fitness coach, a business coach, whatever kind of coach. Everyone should get some kind of coach at some point in their life.
No, and I agree. And that's kind of why I was like, gosh, I want to run with this in the podcast just for a second, because you are a perfect example of somebody who's using a coach to help them with such a huge undertaking like this conference at the Salt Palace. And a lot of times, like even myself, sometimes I don't know where are the good coaches at, right? Like, or what do I need to be coached with, or what would make a good coach? Like, what are things I should look for, or what are things I should watch out for? And just even the little bit of advice that you just gave right now, I thought was
just kind of get to know them, I guess, right? And see what they actually have to offer a little bit.
Well, and I feel like people are placed into your life for a reason. And I feel like we stumbled upon each other so weirdly. And She's become one of my favorite people. Like, I just love her to death.
Now, did she say she was a coach too? Or
no?
Because that's what I've been curious too. Like, there's some people I'm like, gosh, I just want to pay them. They don't even say that they're a coach, but I'm just like, would it be rude to say, hey, I'd pay you some money here to give me some?
I don't think it would be rude.
Well, it's like finding a mentor. You know, a coach is really a mentor in whatever way that you want to grow.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to pay for it because they put all of their money into learning the knowledge that they have. And that's what you're paying for, is like gaining their experience.
There's so many hokey coaches out there, though, you know?
There are.
For sure there are.
I guess it's like anything, though. You waste money. And
there's in every profession, there's definitely the group that's really fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like, not the good kind, but, you know, you just have to talk to them, I guess, and get to know them a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like the more that you stumble, the more that you can rise.
I love failing. I think it's the best thing you can do because
I hate
seriously,
that we put such a bad thing on failing.
I know. If you fail faster, you can just move on faster.
So true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's actually take a quick break. We need to play a couple messages from our sponsors. But then when we come back, I want to talk more about the conference, the summit that you're doing in January. So hang tight. We'll be right back. All right. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by The Melting Pot. The Melting Pot is locally owned and operated right downtown on the corner of Market and Main. You know, I know a lot of people have never had the opportunity to head on over to the Melting Pot and try their delicious food.
That's a bummer.
I know for the longest time, you and I, Chrissy, never had the opportunity to go check them out. I checked them out. I fell in love with them.
Oh my gosh. It was so much better than I expected.
The food there is delicious. I mean, the atmosphere is delicious. It is an awesome place to go. Why wait for a special occasion when you can go and celebrate with them every day? A night out with friends before or after the game? Celebrating a promotion at work? It's the perfect date night. I know it was for Chrissy and I.
It is absolutely the perfect date night.
It's a great way to celebrate your birthday, anniversaries, or how about just because, okay? Enjoy cheese and chocolate at the bar, or you can reserve a table for a 4-course experience featuring all of your fondue favorites. The Melting Pot is locally owned and operated. They are located at 340 Main Street. Book your experience today. Again, they're located at 340 Main Street, right on the corner of Market and Main, right in beautiful downtown Salt Lake City. And many thanks to the Melting Pot for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. All right, guys, this episode of the podcast is sponsored by the very delicious, the very awesome, and the very local Five Wives Vodka. You know, when you head on over to Texas, enjoy your Tito's, but when you're here in Salt Lake City, you better be drinking Five Wives Vodka. So the next time you head to your neighborhood bar or you hit up the state liquor store, pick up a bottle of Five Wives Vodka. They actually have 3 different flavors, which I'm going to be stupid to a lot of people and admit I didn't know about all 3 flavors, but Chrissy and I are going to tell you about them right now. They have the original flavor. This is the Five Wives original. This is made from Utah mountain spring water. It's 100% distilled corn spirit and it's gluten-free. The spring is hidden in beautiful Ogden Canyon. It's inaccessible by vehicle, so the water's hiked out 5 gallons at a time. It's actually been fun. I'm Facebook friends with Timothy Smith. He's been on the podcast a few times, and he's actually shared his experiences of hiking out this water. So it's really fun to watch him. He takes pictures whenever he goes up there.
And he takes videos too, huh? It's like the adventures of Timothy Smith
Very, very cool.
It's so cool. They also have a flavor called Five Wives Sinful. It's a flavored vodka with a delicious cinnamon taste. And unlike other cinnamon products that give you that cinnamon candy taste, Sinful is like a morning cinnamon roll, and it only has 76 calories per ounce.
They also have the Five Wives Heavenly. This is a flavored vodka with a delicious vanilla taste. Heavenly's rich, buttery vanilla flavor comes through without coating your taste buds with sugar, and this results in more vanilla and less calories. You can actually head on over to fivewivesvodka.com. This is where you can find out more information about them. You can get recipes and all that good stuff. And you know, we have quite a few listeners that live outside the state of Utah. They hit me up. They wonder, hey, can we get Five Wives Vodka here in my state? You can actually head over to bfspirits.com and check out their app, and you can get Five Wives Vodka delivered directly to your door if you live outside the state of Utah. This is a really awesome thing, you guys. So head on over to bfspirits.com and download that app. And many thanks to Five Wives Vodka for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Let's run down the list of who's speaking at the summit. Is everybody locked in, or are you going to keep adding people?
I think we have everyone locked in. I am still finalizing a contract with one speaker, but as of right now, I think we have everyone we need. Yeah, so we have Kiara Mizuko. She is my business coach. So she's the one who's been coaching me through everything. And she's a business and empowerment coach. She really is just a rock star at everything that she does and everything that she talks about. So
is she here from Utah?
No, she's in New York.
Oh, wow.
She's the one in New York.
Flying
yep.
in.
So she's the only one coming from out of state.
Oh, so this is your coach?
Yes.
This is your coach,
yep.
the wonderful lady. Wow.
Yep.
I'm going to Google her.
She's phenomenal. I love her. Okay, and then we have a fitness panel. So we have about 3 people on the fitness panel. I have Chris DeSandra. Have you guys heard of her?
I haven't, no.
She's here in Utah. So she is a personal trainer, and she is a ambassador for Gymshark.
Which is Gymshark?
They're a fitness clothing company.
Okay, all right.
They're really cool. So we have her on the panel, and we have Michelle Sorensen on the panel. She's a positive lifestyle fitness coach. So she kind of focuses on the aspect of like your mindset around fitness and health. Then we have Susie Wayman, who was Miss Utah United States last year. She is talking about self-love because she kind of came from a weird background, and she's kind of flowered and blossomed, and she became Miss Utah United States last year. So that's really cool. And then we have you guys heard of the Badassery magazine?
I haven't, no.
It sounds familiar.
You should look it up.
Well, okay. You should know this stuff.
I should know all the lady stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm not trying to be,
No, it's true.
un-PC here, but, I don't follow all the ladies.
Here we go. Empowering female entrepreneurs.
Right. So we have the founders of that. So Samantha Parker and Kathy Rasmussen. So they are coming, and they are awesome. They're talking about networking and how to empower women in a community. So that's kind of our lineup. And then our one speaker that I don't have nailed down, I won't mention her just yet in case something falls through. But she will be talking about communication and relationships.
That's awesome. It's kind of a really well-rounded panel of speakers, it sounds like. Kind of focusing on every aspect of your life.
Yeah, I really wanted to find a way to bring it all together because there are so many aspects of our lives, and we don't just focus on one thing. And I didn't want to just focus on empowerment or just self-love. I wanted to kind of round it out because there are so many aspects to who we are.
What's been like so far the most rewarding thing of putting on this event, or is it still a little far away to really feel any of the rewards?
No, I actually have had lots of people reach out to me and tell me that they're really excited, that it sounds like an amazing event. And one thing that we haven't touched on is I'm working with Operation Underground Railroad. So we're donating 20% of all of our proceeds to help human trafficking. That has been crazy rewarding. Like, I have not really dabbled into that very much, and just diving into research and finding out how significant human trafficking is right now, even in Utah, has been crazy. It's been insane.
Huge problem.
Why did you pick them? I mean, not that they're not good, but what made you pick them to donate to?
I was doing some reading one day, and I read this passage about women, and I had the thought come to me that I really needed to focus on sex trafficking. And so I just started doing research, just digging into who supports sex trafficking. And I know that Ashton Kutcher has that huge campaign that he does. Obviously, I wasn't going to go with him. So I just stumbled upon them through a family friend who knew one of their top people. I don't know exactly what she does. So I called her, and we had a good conversation and decided to work together, and it's been amazing.
What's been your least favorite thing about putting on this event?
Oh, probably the fact that I am just been doing it all by myself. Next time I will definitely bring a team on to help me. And
it's
marketing.
Not too late though, is it? Right?
No, it's really not.
You could bring somebody on to help you.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm so set in what I feel like I want and what I know, what I want to put on, that I think it would be hard to bring someone on and make them see my vision at this point.
Mm-hmm. It is hard sometimes to bring somebody on. Like when I brought Chrissy into doing this podcast with me, I was like, gosh, what did I do? I'm just
He's still trying to figure out how to fire me. It's fine. No, it's true though, because when you have a baby and you have an idea of what you want, it's really difficult to kind of let other people in because everybody definitely has their own vision.
It's true.
No matter what. It'll be interesting though that you get to spend the first year kind of finding your way and seeing what works and what doesn't. And then maybe you can help guide people the next time.
Right. So I think for sure next time I'll hire like a personal assistant.
Oh, yeah.
And someone to do all my social media because I am the worst at posting on social media.
Dude, social media is hard.
It's so hard.
Okay. What is it that's hard?
We have to like create content. You have to create content that sells. And you have to create content that like pulls people in.
And you have to be consistent. And it's like if you're so busy doing other things, it's hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and I tried batching out content. So like just planning it all in like on a Sunday afternoon.
Like through a scheduler or something.
Yeah. And it
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It's just not as good.
No, that makes sense. I was just curious, because maybe we can all, pull from resources. I don't know.
It is one of those things that you can always do better somehow.
Yep.
I feel you.
What kind of, do you have a piece of advice that you would give somebody who maybe wants to put on a summit or conference? Like, is there a tip that you would tell a listener?
Yeah, I would say just start.
Yeah.
Just start like brainstorming. I started by just writing down literally every idea I had on a piece of paper. It looks like this jumbled mess.
Uh-huh.
It's not even in lines. And I just wrote down everything I wanted there, every speaker that I thought might be good, every topic that I wanted to be talked about, and just started there. And it's just snowballed.
Is there something though that maybe you learned in the process while you're setting it all up that you're like, gosh, I wish I would have known this 6 months ago?
Oh yeah. Get an SSL certificate at the very beginning for your website.
Oh gosh, yes.
Don't do that the day before you're supposed to start selling tickets.
Yeah. That's something most people don't know.
No, and what I didn't know.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, what's the website again for that people can? It's
breakoutsummit.com.
And is there like a Facebook page too for that? Or anything?
It's just Breakout Summit. On Instagram, it's just Breakout Summit.
Cool, very cool. Now, do you plan on like doing this like a yearly type thing?
Yeah, I actually want to do it twice a year. On the super down low, we're going to do some retreats. And I eventually want to break out and do like a men's event and like a business summit that are all based around the breakout theme.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of think men need an event like that too.
They do.
I feel bad sometimes that we're,
men do, it's like a weekend hunting or something.
Hunting?
Well, it's kind of lonely to be a man in America now because that sounds weird, but like it's lonely to be anybody, I guess. But us women kind of are banding together a lot more recently.
It is true.
And creating women empowerment. And oftentimes I feel bad that I'm always talking about it because I'm like, Chris, you're a person too. I realize that guys are people and they have feelings, but I don't know. You guys need something cool like this too, is all I'm saying.
Little change of direction here, Jordan. We all have moments where we don't feel very motivated. I kind of wanted to ask you this question because it seems like you kind of, would have a good answer for this. Is there like something that helps you get remotivated when you find yourself in these moments?
Yeah, I actually listen to podcasts.
What's a favorite podcast that you enjoy?
Kiara has a podcast that I just love right now. So she's my coach.
Yeah. What's the name of the podcast?
The Bold Standard.
I'll have to check it out. And is it kind of a coaching, motivational type podcast?
It covers like all the bases. She does business, self-love, relationships. She talks about it all.
Very cool. I'll have to check that out. Anything else that you like to do? I
actually use the 5-second rule a lot. If I'm not feeling motivated, like I'll count down from 5 and then like make myself motivated.
Oh, I was like, because the
5-second
rule to me is eating food off the floor.
Oh.
I was like,
I've never heard of it used in this context.
Throw a sandwich on the ground and then I wait 5 seconds. I pick it up. I'm happy because I got
the same rule.
I got that sandwich. If you were to recommend one or two books, 2 all-time favorite books, I know you're a book reader. I did discover that when I was trying to, do a little bit of searching on you. What are 1 or 2 of your favorite books?
My absolute favorite is You Are a Badass.
That's a great, Jen Sincero, right?
Uh-huh.
That is a good book.
She has a money one too that I'm right in the middle of that I really like. Brendan Bouchard. I can't remember the name of the book.
The Motivation Manifesto, right? He does. He does a few.
I can't remember the exact name.
Do you listen to his podcast?
I don't.
Oh my gosh, it's so the Brandon Bouchard. I could probably pull it up on my podcast.
I know. I'm Googling.
Yeah, I know, because he has it. One of his audiobooks is all in it. You can just download a podcast. You can just get
The Millionaire Messenger.
Life.
I'm trying to find the book. I need to know.
I can't remember what it is.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's
that
fine.
one. And then the Millionaire Mindset.
Okay.
That was probably the first book that I read starting out as an entrepreneur with affiliate marketing. And I read it over and over again. And it's super short and it's really good.
What are some of your other hobbies and interests when you're not creating these big summits and conferences that are probably stressing you out and you're not able to get a lot of sleep at night, right? What else do you do for fun?
I think
Well, you read a lot.
I do read a ton right now. I like to read even like teen fiction novels. I'm like obsessed with those.
There's something about escaping into that reality.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So I read lots of that. I read that at night, and then I read like my personal development in the morning. I like to sketch recently, and I just like doodle. Kind of helps my creativity a little bit. I like to watch TV.
What's your favorite show? Do you have a favorite TV show? You're into reality TV,
I am.
right?
I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it.
No, there's nothing wrong with them.
The Bachelor and The Bachelor in Paradise.
Guilty pleasures.
I'm a huge fan. And Cupcake Wars.
Okay.
Oh, Cupcake Wars is so good.
I love it.
Well, this gives people, and I think we were chatting before we started recording here, Jordan, it allows people to get to know you a little bit more, right? They might come to your summit or conference, and now they know you love Cupcake Wars.
Maybe they will bring you cupcakes.
Well, we'll probably have cupcakes
gosh.
at the summit because I love cupcakes. That's probably one of my favorite foods. And pizza.
If you could learn one random skill, what would it be?
To play the guitar?
Okay. Do you play any instruments now?
I don't. I really wish I did.
Just never. See, and I always had that shoved down my throat growing up. Like, learn to play the violin, play the piano. And then I just never wanted to do it. And now I have zero interest in any of it, to be honest.
That's so funny.
The harmonica. I'd love to learn the harmonica. But if money was no object, what would you do all day?
I would probably travel. Would sell my house and just travel all the time.
Where would be the first place you would travel to?
Scotland.
Ooh, yes. The Lowlands or the Highlands, whatever.
That is on the top of my bucket list. And Rome. Probably Thailand. I saw some people go to Thailand recently and I fell in love with all their pictures.
Oh, yeah.
If you could do anything on your next birthday, what would you like to do?
Go skydiving, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think I could do that.
I'm a thrill seeker a little bit. We're certified to scuba dive. I like rappelling and mountain climbing and stuff like that. So it's fun.
Oh, wow. Good for you. You'd have to kidnap me and throw me out of a plane.
Most memorable concert or sporting event?
I went to a Styx concert.
Really?
Probably 8 years ago.
Do you remember who they
so
played
cool.
with?
Oh, and Bon Jovi.
Okay.
Styx played with Foreigner.
Very cool. And that was here in Salt Lake.
Yep.
Oh,
Was that at USANA?
No, it was at the
Vivint?
Energy Solutions Arena when I went. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That would be so good.
It was amazing.
Now, you were talking about how you have a hard time posting on social media, right? Do you have a least favorite social media site?
I don't like posting to Instagram, but I really like Instagram.
Really?
Yes.
You know what my frustration with Instagram is? I used to love it, but when they changed the algorithms, because the same pictures keep showing back up in my feeds, and like, I already saw that picture.
See, I find that happening to me on Facebook a lot.
Really?
Oh, man. Yeah,
'Cause
Facebook.
Instagram used to be, you just look through it and it was in order and it was nice. It was like, okay, I already looked up to pictures to that point.
Should be timeline.
It should
Timeline
be.
based, guys.
If you could go back to your first day of high school and give yourself a piece of advice, what would that piece of advice
It
be?
would probably be to not let anybody dictate what I do.
That's been the biggest response, I think, from people on this podcast.
I feel like I was a people pleaser. I still kind of am a people pleaser, but I just did things for people instead of for myself.
Do you think being a people pleaser, do you think that's good or bad?
I think it can be both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on how you navigate that.
As long as it doesn't consume you, that's when it becomes a real problem.
Yeah, and I used to have people like walk all over me.
Once again, being a girl, it's a thing.
It happens.
We're taught to people please.
There's a few Salt Lake City related questions we like to ask here. And when I talk Salt Lake City, I talk about the general area, obviously. If somebody was visiting Salt Lake City, for the weekend? Is there something you would tell them, you got to go do this, or do this? I mean, I've heard everything from visit the temple to go on a hike to have a picnic in a park. I don't know. Is there something that you would tell people?
Yeah, I was going to say Temple Square because it's so beautiful during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yes.
During Christmas
I've actually, I hate to admit this and I do a Salt Lake City podcast, but I don't think I've ever experienced the lights at Temple Square during Christmas. I never make it down there.
Well, here's the thing is we talk about it all the time, but the parking, it always comes down to the parking. Oh. So we need to just get on tracks, everybody.
Take tracks
we need to see the lights at Christmas.
I've heard they're quite cool. Sorry, anything else that you would tell somebody?
And then I would say, Park City hiking.
Yeah, you got to get up there in Park City.
I hear there's a zip line down in Provo.
Really?
Yeah. Is that new?
I don't know. Check it out. Provo's getting pretty cool, man. I hate to say that on a Salt Lake City podcast of all things, right?
Erase it.
Favorite local eating spots? Any favorite local eating spots that you like in the valley here?
I really like Bruges.
Yeah, Bruges waffles.
And my husband introduced me to Caputo's.
Caputo's is really good.
And those are like when we come to Salt Lake, that's what we get.
Very cool. Is there anything you would change about Utah in general or Salt Lake City Valley area? Anything?
Maybe less construction?
Yeah. Like road construction.
Yeah. Road construction.
Isn't it ridiculous? Like
it never stops.
Never stops.
We were mentioning, I think off recording how my mom watches our baby, and sometimes I'll take her down to Orem, and it shouldn't be that far of a drive, but for some reason they decide to tear up a road or something. I don't know.
I don't know. There's got to be someone just needs to stay busy. That's the only
it's so bad.
Reasonable
it's so bad, yeah.
Answer.
That would be the only thing I'd change.
Let's run down the list here of the conference as we kind of slowly wrap this podcast episode up of your conference, the dates, the location, the website that people can go to.
The Breakout Women's Summit, it is on January 19th in 2019, and it's at the Salt Palace. We are starting at 10 a.m. sharp, so do not be late. And you can go to breakoutsummit.com, or if you just want to go right into buying your tickets, you can go to attendthebreakoutsummit.com.
Now, is there any early bird ticket deals?
Yes.
Or
so right now, all tickets are 25% off, and then October 31st, they'll go up 25%.
Okay. Well, this will definitely be up here way before October 31st. So that's good. And just go on the website and that will all be in.
It's all there.
So
ladies, you've been warned. Get it before October 31st.
Yeah, it'll go up.
Was there anything else, Jordan, that you wanted to make sure we talked about today before we completely wrap this show up? Or I think we got the summit. Go check it out.
Yeah, make sure you check it out.
We'll put all the links for that at iamsaltlake.com with this episode.
Is there a Facebook group that people could come join and to talk to all the women who are
start doing a little pre-networking.
Yeah, so we are actually running a few contests too, and giveaways from now until the summit, giving away free tickets, giving away like free swag and a bunch of other stuff on Facebook and on Instagram. And again, it's just at Breakout Summit.
Okay, do you have a motto or piece of advice that you would leave with our listeners today?
Oh yes, my favorite is be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.
I've had a heck of a time here today on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming and recording with us. And I always tell people I'd like to catch up down the road. I always like to bring people back through here and see what they're doing. Talk about the summit. We could talk about,
how it went,
and the funny stuff that happened there.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be lots.
Bring the blooper reel.
Yeah, the blooper reel. I was trying to think of something in my head. I'm like, what? The funny stuff. That sounds
same thing.
Yeah, I guess you already kind of ran down the list. So thank you so much, Jordan, for coming on the show. You bet.
Many thanks again to Jordan Hemsley for joining us on this episode of the podcast and sharing her story. You can head on over to our website at iamsaltlake.com/346 for all the links for you to get in touch with her and find out more about the Breakout Women's Summit she's putting on in January. So after we were done recording this conversation with Jordan, she decided to make a special code for our listeners of this podcast. You can get 15% off ticket price of the conference. Just use the promo code IAMSaltLake, all one word, at checkout.
All right, guys, don't forget to visit our website, iamsaltlake.com. This is where you can dig through the entire back catalog of episodes. I know there's over 346 episodes up on this website now. Dig through it because I guarantee we've talked to some amazing people. Well, every episode's an amazing person, but episode 150, episode 158, dig through there, listen to some of the older conversations, share some of them on social media, let your family and friends know about this podcast. We want to keep getting it bigger and bigger, and the only way to do that is with your guys' help. So get the word out, tell one friend this week, and we'll love you forever.
And guys, if you're coming to Utah or you're new here, this podcast is a great place to find your tribe. Get to know people, get to know the places and things you can go do. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Many thanks to our sponsors for this episode, Five Wives Vodka and the Salt Lake City Downtown Melting Pot. If you would like to become a sponsor, you can reach out to us anytime at hello@iamsaltlake.com.
All right, you guys have a great week. Get out and enjoy the city, support local, and we'll see you on the next episode.
And good night, Grammy.